It looks like Team USA just pulled a move that has fans absolutely losing it. They're not asking Caitlin Clark to switch her legendary number 22. No, they're straight up forcing her to give it up. And the reaction. Let's just say the entire basketball community is lighting up over it. Think about it. Number 22 isn't just a jersey number for Caitlin Clark. It's her identity. It's the number she turned into a brand during her record-breaking run at Iowa, and the number she carried into the WNBA as she took the league by storm. And now Team USA has decided she can't wear it? Yeah. People are furious, and honestly, can you blame them? This decision is blowing back harder than anyone at USA Basketball probably expected, and it seems like they might finally be realizing they walked straight into a PR disaster. But before we get deeper into how messy this situation really is, I want to hear from you. Should Caitlin Clark have kept number 22 without any debate? Or is Team USA just sticking to their long-standing system of seniority and tradition? Because once you hear what led to this, your perspective might shift big time.
You know, she was snubbed from the cover of Team USA, and not only is they snubbing her, the disrespect is continuing because it's looking like Team USA is forcing Caitlin Clark to change her number.
So the official announcement is finally out, and honestly, it makes no sense at all. We need to unpack this because it's one of those moments where you genuinely wonder if anyone at Team USA actually stopped to think before signing off on this decision. We're talking about Caitlin Clark here, currently the most influential figure in women's basketball. The superstar who has pulled millions of new eyes into the sport is suddenly being told she can't wear her own number. Not suggested, not offered alternatives, told, forced. No discussion, and the number they've decided to hand her? 17. Yes, 17. A number with absolutely no connection to her journey, her brand, or the massive fan base she's built. It doesn't carry any meaning, doesn't tie into her story, and honestly feels like a complete disregard for everything she's already accomplished. For someone who has transformed the game the way she has, this choice feels less like a simple jersey assignment and more like a tone-deaf misstep from the people running the show.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not a very creative person. I was born on January 22nd, so it's what I went with when I was about 5 years old.
Before we go any deeper into this situation, we need to make one thing crystal clear, something Team USA seems to have completely ignored. Caitlin Clark's number 22 is not just a jersey number, it's a worldwide brand. That number is woven into her identity. It's the number she had on when she broke Pete Maravich's all-time college scoring record, a moment that went far beyond basketball. It's the number she wore while leading Iowa to 2 straight national championship appearances and captivating the entire country in the process. It's the number that turned her from a rising star into a cultural phenomenon throughout her college career. And it's the same number she continues to represent with the Indiana Fever as she packs arenas across the league. At this point, the number 22 is as iconic in women's basketball as 23 is in the men's game because of Michael Jordan. When you spot a 22 on a women's jersey, your mind instantly goes to Caitlin Clark. No hesitation, no confusion. That isn't up for debate. That's simply the reality.
Case to be made, the Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark, number 22 is the most recognizable number in women's sports right now. There is no argument to be made. There's no case to be made. Caitlin Clark, number 22, is the most recognizable number.
But apparently, Team USA either missed that reality entirely or worse, understood it and still chose to ignore it. Because when they released the official roster for the December training camp in North Carolina, there it was, plain as day. Caitlin Clark, number 7, not 22, not even close. And the basketball world instantly went into meltdown mode. But this is where things shift from questionable to downright absurd. If you actually take a moment to scan the full roster, you'll notice something unbelievable. No one else is wearing number 22. It's wide open, available, untouched. It's not like Ija Wilson is on this particular camp roster holding on to 22. It's not like some long-tenured Team USA veteran has claimed it for years. The number is literally sitting there unused, and they still forced Caitlin to switch. Explain that logic. Seriously, try. The only reason anyone can even piece together is that Team USA is clinging to some rigid, outdated rulebook that prioritizes seniority or past national team experience over basic common sense. Bureaucracy over branding, tradition over reality, and that kind of tone-deaf decision-making is exactly how organizations end up alienating the very fans they desperately need. Because while they congratulate themselves for following protocol, they're completely overlooking the bigger picture, what Caitlin Clark means to the sport, what she symbolizes culturally, and how essential she is to basketball's future growth. They're playing by old rules in a new era, and it shows.
To wear number 17 at Team USA training camp on December 24th, news broke that Caitlin Clark will be taking a part in the training, which that's what we talked about at the beginning of the video. Now, this right here this came out this came out on the 24th. So these are the numbers, man. So head on over to Twitter and check this out real quick. So this is what was released right here. It says Lauren Betts. Hold on, here's the ages. Where's the number? Here we go, right here. So these are the numbers. Caitlin Clark. Let me blow this all the way up, man. I want to blow this all the way up so y'all can see this. So as y'all can see there, man, how did Caitlin Clark number will be changed? So who's wearing 22? Or if you guys remember, Michael Jordan wore number 45 in the Olympics. Because it don't look like no one's wearing number 22.
Let's take a moment to talk about the optics here, because honestly, they're awful. This is the same Team USA organization that shocked the basketball world earlier this year by leaving Caitlin Clark off the Olympic roster. They tried to justify it by citing experience and veteran leadership, while the rest of the basketball universe watched in disbelief as the game's most popular and influential player got snubbed. And now, after finally bringing her into the fold for a training camp, the very first thing they do is strip her of her iconic number 22. Not great, not even good, terrible actually. It sends a clear signal. Either Team USA doesn't understand Caitlin's value, or worse, they understand it perfectly and are actively diminishing it. Here's the truth that seems to have completely escaped them. Caitlin Clark is bigger than Team USA right now. Sorry. And this isn't about disrespecting Team USA's legacy or the incredible players who've proudly worn red, white, and blue. It's simply recognizing the unprecedented cultural impact Caitlin has had on women's basketball in the past few years. She's brought millions of new fans to the sport. She's filled arenas that were once half empty. She's turned women's college basketball and now the WNBA into must-watch television for an entirely new generation. A huge part of that influence is tied directly to her number 22. That number is central to her brand, her identity, and the connection she's built with fans. Forcing her to switch, even for a training camp, sends a different message. That her fans don't matter, that her brand doesn't matter, that the identity she's worked so hard to create doesn't matter. Why? Because Team USA has its rules. And rules are rules, no matter how nonsensical they are in this unique situation. And let's be real, this isn't just about Caitlin's feelings or personal brand. This is about the commercial growth of women's basketball. Caitlin Clark in a Team USA jersey with number 22 would sell like wildfire. Parents would rush to buy them for their daughters. Fans would clamor for that collectible linking her legendary college and WNBA career to her international play. Now imagine her in number 17 instead. It confuses people. It creates an unnecessary disconnect between the player they know and love and the uniform she's wearing. That disconnect isn't just frustrating, it costs Team USA money, whether they realize it now or later. Some might argue that this is just how international basketball works, that FIA rules exist, that Team USA has traditions, and no player is bigger than the team. Normally that might hold some weight, but these aren't normal circumstances. Caitlin isn't a normal player. She's a phenomenon. She's changed the landscape of women's basketball forever. She's brought unprecedented attention and revenue to the sport. She is the face of women's basketball in America right now, whether Team USA wants to admit it or not. The backlash has been exactly what you'd expect. Social media blew up the moment the roster and new numbers were announced. Fans were outraged. Analysts were scratching their heads. Even people who don't normally follow women's basketball were weighing in on how absurd this decision seemed. From the outside, it looks like Team USA is deliberately making things harder for its biggest star. And the most frustrating part, Team USA had a golden opportunity to get this right, and they completely missed it. After the Olympic snub, Team USA had a golden chance to show the world they truly understand Caitlin Clark's value. They could have made a statement celebrating her arrival at training camp, honoring the career she's built, and letting her keep the number that's become synonymous with her name. Instead, they did the exact opposite. They treated her like any other player, rigidly applied their rules without considering context, and created yet another controversy that makes them look completely out of touch. And here's the part they're probably not thinking about. This December training camp is going to be in the media spotlight, not because of the drills or the practice schedule, but because Caitlin Clark will be there. Reporters will be asking about the number change. Fans will be commenting on it. Every article covering the camp will mention that she was forced to give up her iconic 22. That's not the story Team USA wanted, but it's the one they've handed themselves. Behind the scenes, you can bet Caitlin isn't thrilled about this. Her agent isn't thrilled. Her sponsors, who have poured millions into the Caitlin Clark brand built around number 22, aren't thrilled. This is exactly the kind of decision that breeds tension and frustration unnecessarily. And it doesn't stop there. Think about the other players on the roster. No one wants to be that player making a fuss over a jersey number, but at the same time, veterans are watching as the organization mishandles the sport's biggest star over something as trivial as a number. And let's be honest, they know Caitlin's presence helps everyone. A rising tide lifts all boats, and Caitlin Clark is the largest tide women's basketball has ever seen. Some might try to bring up Aja Wilson, who also wears number 22. Sure, she has seniority and a history with Team USA, but she isn't even on this training camp roster. That argument completely falls apart here. What this really shows is a clueless or possibly spiteful approach to handling a generational talent. The instant regret in this video's title, not an exaggeration. Team USA is already feeling the backlash, and the camp hasn't even begun. What should be a celebration of the future of USA basketball with stars like Caitlin, Guju Watkins, and Paige Buchers is now overshadowed by a completely avoidable controversy. At some point, organizations need to realize following your internal rules doesn't automatically mean you're making the right decision. Forcing Caitlin Clark into number 17 is wrong from every meaningful perspective, brand, fan engagement, and common sense alike. So yes, Team USA is feeling instant regret, and they should. They chose bureaucracy over logic, and now they're facing the consequences. Bottom line, Team USA forced Caitlin Clark to ditch her legendary 22 for 17, and the basketball world is not having it. Was this decision justified, or are they completely missing the point? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown of Team USA's latest misstep, hit like and subscribe for more sharp basketball coverage.